You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Will Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
What's up, Will Dog? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Good.
All right. Well, folks, I can already hear you going, where's Kyle the Coach Duggan? He'll be here. Just hang on.
Yeah. He's coming. he's on his way. He's got some sick kids, and he's
sick kids. Busy Monday. I mean,
he's a kind of a big deal from what I'm told. I don't believe most of it, but yeah.
I don't know how he does it. I would just give up, but that's not Kyle. Kyle perseveres and pushes through.
He's coming.
He's a coming. So we will get him on here later, but obviously, folks, lots to talk about. There's been a lot. Finally, again, a situation where news happens and we get a chance to talk about it.
Oh, right before we have an episode, I'm like,
love
thank you.
See it. But we will get to all of that here shortly. But as to let you all know, we've got a Craig experience lined up and an Ask Boltfam. There's quite a few questions in that Ask Boltfam for the offseason, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's start off at the top here because NFL is over for now. It's done. We're in the offseason. We're deep in the offseason. And we're all clamoring for something to hold on to that's shaped like a football. A football-sized raft in this sea of off-season.
There's a hole in my heart that's football-shaped.
So we fill it with something called the XFL. Now, for those of you that haven't been around for a long time, the XFL, Kevin and I can recall, it was like
old school. It was like early 2000s.
It was like arena football, but with like wrestlers, like the WWE got involved somehow.
There was like cameras on the field with the players. The original stuff was so gimmicky and dumb.
It was
crazy.
More silly than anything.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I guess it's football, but because it's so silly, you don't have a lot of stake in it. So it's like, I don't know. The XFL is back, folks.
And it's pretty freaking cool for what they're like. The fact The Rock took it over, they're kind of taking it more seriously, and I'm kind of more invested in it now than the last iteration.
Exactly. So with new ownership, I know that was like creeping up. I'm like, stay down, and I couldn't help it. It's like, I gotta do it.
Nice.
So with The Rock now involved, money involved, and with the XFL being a viable option for NFL to kind of pick players from, they're really taking it a lot more seriously. And in doing so, it's also kind of become a playground for them to be like, hey, let's try some new rules.
Yeah, let's try out some new shit.
Let's try some stuff. Because like, what? Yeah. Who cares? This isn't NFL. This is XFL. Like, we're gonna play like we want to win, but let's try some stuff out that might be on the table for the NFL to try in the future as well. So they can at least get a visual representation, not just have to picture it in their minds. Like, okay, well, if he's kicking from here and the players are here, that might work. So some of the things that they're trying is a new kickoff. Now, for those of you that haven't seen, teams
is crazy looking. When you
first see it, you're just like, wait, why?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So teams begin play 5 yards apart. Now, when you're looking at it, you still got the kicker kicking it from typically where they kick it, and you still got a receiver typically receiving it where they normally receive it. But instead of a team rushing down the field and you got guys in the back ready to try to block, the guys are just lined up 5 yards apart. Each team 5 yards apart. Kicking team at the opponent's 35-yard line, return team at their own 30.
Just ready to
boom. So it's like you don't have that inertia running impact that has been causing some of the brain concerns that have happened with some of these previous players. It's just a 5 yard boom. Let's scrum. And the receiver's going to try to get the ball through. If he can, we'll find out. But It's an interesting thought. And I mean, what did you think about it?
No, I thought it was cool. And the fact that, they're basically just standing there waiting. It's like this 300 level showdown of let's go. They're face to face. It was kind of dynamic. And then they can't do shit until the receiver catches the ball. So the receiver catches the ball, and then all of a sudden it is just bedlam. And I enjoyed it. It's because football is and the kickoffs are not what they used to be, dude. Because 90% of them are going out of the back of the end zone. There's that's the risk of it's not there. So this was cool. I like that they're trying new stuff there and if it's, implemented by the NFL at some point, it'd be interesting for sure. This solves the old noodle concern that the NFL has been dealing with for a long time.
Especially.
Yeah.
One of the other things that we saw were instant replays, and head coach may challenge one on-field ruling per game, including those involving a foul or potential foul. Now, this was something you were calling for when we talked about it for the Super Bowl.
I think this absolutely should happen. You only get one of them, and they're probably not going to be used every game. But it's got to be very. It just gives you the back pocket, especially as a fan. Just you see something on TV that is just egregious, something can be done about it. It's not all right, well, the book's closed on that play. It's all right, let's try this. Let's see what we got. So the fact that they're testing it here, I think NFL should take a little bit of notice.
I guarantee they're watching. I mean, because it's an opportunity for them to, because if the fans aren't interested, there's no NFL, there's no game. And so it'll be interesting to see, because they're not going to obviously do a ticky-tack penalty that's going to be okay, this is a game-changing possible penalty that we want to make sure that you the ref got this right. And if you didn't, let's get it right. That's all it is. And in addition to that, the final ruling made by designated members of officiating department in central location.
And that's cool, because that's basically there's a referee up in a booth that is watching all the camera angles.
It's not should be.
It's not let's run out monitors to the head ref on the field. That's not productive. Install a new person, and they're getting these decisions in and out in 30 seconds. It's bam, 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 bam.
Right.
Just get the game right. Make sure it's right. And that might backfire on us as Charger fans, where something doesn't go our way and gets returned, but the way things have been going, it's usually the flip where we get screwed by something. So I want to see that adjustment. I think this is what they're doing there is pretty sweet.
Right. And it can go both ways. It can happen for both teams. If we feel like it's happening to us or they feel like it's happening to them, it just allows an opportunity for a more well-called game.
Sure.
That's all that this is trying to do because when it's not well called, when we see the egregious plays, it's not fun, because you feel like no matter what side you're on, you feel like either we didn't win it properly or something was taken from you.
Well, and there's so much for the first one. It's there's a little asterisk on it if you win, but then everyone else is you didn't win that game. It's well, let's solve this the real way. Let's go back to the line of scrimmage and do another play and make this for real. I want that to be the case for the NFL. Please.
Agreed. It's 2023, folks. We have the technology. Let's use it.
We have the powder.
Sake. Captain. All right.
Yeah.
Coaching changes that have happened. I know you're all anxious for us to talk about the first one, but let's take it in the order that it came in.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about first, new quarterback coach. Who could it be now? And from Diana Rossini, tweeted out the Chargers have hired Doug Nussmeier as quarterback coach per source. Initially, everybody said, who the heck is that? And we've kindly reminded them that they was the Dallas quarterback coach that worked with Kellen Moore and came over with Kellen after hiring him. So great. I mean, we talked about that, bringing over the QB coach from Dallas. Why not?
Yeah.
And then from Chargers Wire, from Gavin Borquez, Nussmeier has been the Cowboys quarterback coach since 2020 after serving as the team's tight ends coach for 2 seasons. Nussmeier's 3 years overseeing Dallas's quarterback Dak Prescott set a team record in touchdown passes, 37, and had 5 starters, including Cooper Rush, who went 4-1 in 2022.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
It's interesting. And he's going to be the oldest on the staff by 12 years or something.
Is he really? How old is he?
I think he's 52.
Nice.
So you got a seasoned, more, a little more seasoned coach back there. And the fact that he made Dak Prescott look as good as he did, I'm curious what, it sounded like Nussmeier could have gone and gotten an OC job. He was in the running for some of those across the league, but he decided to come work with Justin. Because I think people see that, and if you do well, as opposed to the last coaches who don't have a job anymore, if you can do well with this quarterback who should do well for you, you're going to get better opportunities quicker. So yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah, now knowing his age, there would be a concern of like, okay, well, when we've talked about it for like possible OC candidates, like, okay, well, if they're older than the guy that you report to, how well are they going to do?
Yeah.
And since he's already got that rapport with Kellen Moore, there's not even a concern about like, oh, he's how old? No. It's like,
yeah. And it's Kellen Moore bringing in like one of his guys. Because right now the staff is pretty much set. When this news came out, the staff was pretty much set. But, now that there's a new piece and they're keeping all the other position coaches, it sounds like, unless something crazy happens soon, this is just like, we're here for Justin. Let's help Justin do what he needs to do.
Cool. I'm all for it. Yeah. Nussmeier has an extensive history of coaching at the college level. He was Florida's offensive coordinator for 3 seasons before joining the Cowboys in 2018. Before that, he had offensive coordinator jobs at Michigan, Alabama, Washington State, and Fresno State. So guy's been around. He's seen a lot of stuff, and he's here to be our QB coach for the foreseeable future. Love it. I'm all for it. Let's see. This comes from Arnie Gordon, Dreamer West AG on Twitter.
Little fan insight on this.
Fan insightfulness.
Thought this was cool.
Said with the hiring of Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator, Doug Nussmeier, QB coach, Justin Herbert now has 3 former quarterbacks as his coaches. So,
yeah,
Kellen Moore,
Coach Staley,
and Nussmeier. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. I thought that was cool little insight. Thank you, Arnie.
Yeah. And then today, Monday, February 20th.
Yeah,
we were looking at each other with dumbfounded faces, going, "I don't know what we're going to talk about today." But
yeah, we're talking about the XFL for a long. We're going to go over all the rules, the rule book.
We're going to break down every game, every quarter, and all the possible penalties that could have been turned over. But turned out today, Adam Schefter tweeted out, Chargers defensive coordinator Renaldo Hill is leaving LA to reunite with Miami defensive coordinator Vic Fangio and become the Dolphins defensive pass game coordinator per source. Hill was Fangio's top target, and out of respect to his former boss, Chargers head coach Brandon Staley allowed his defensive coordinator to leave LA for Miami. Did not see that coming.
No.
Then Tom Pelissaro tweeted out the Chargers plan to promote Derrick Ansley to defensive coordinator and Tommy Donatel to secondary coach / pass game coordinator per sources. Renaldo Hill, who had been LA's DC for the past 2 years, is joining the Dolphins staff on a multi-year deal. So we didn't even get a chance to be like, okay, well, now we get to try to figure out who's gonna be defensive coordinator.
Boop, and done.
It was like the stories were back to back. They had like maybe an hour apart between like
it's almost
Renaldo
like
Hill's going to Miami and Derrick Ansley's coming in to fill in.
Stepping up. It almost feels like this was like ready to go to a certain extent.
It does. And since Kyle can't be here, we wanted him to at the very least, Kyle, could you do us a favor?
He's a defensive coordinator coach.
Send us a video of you talking about this because we need to know. So let's go to Kyle, who's giving his 2 cents.
Coach Cam.
All right, well, here we go. The offseason has begun. I guess we're going to have an entirely new coaching staff, which is what I guess a lot of people wanted. It'll be interesting to see the change, I think, with Derrick Ansley. He was a DC at Tennessee, so he has some of that experience calling plays. It'll be interesting to see what this like mutual relationship looks like. I still don't like it. I want the DC to call the plays. I want the head coach to be the head coach. So I'm hoping that's what we get towards, but it feels less likely now with kind of a not last minute, but this kind of change. Seems like Staley will still be pretty much in charge of calling plays. I was hoping that after a second year, like a third year in the system, that Renaldo Hill would get more of a say and just Brandon Staley could just focus on being a head coach, but that's not likely now with this change. It's not like an exciting move, I don't think. Hopefully it's a good one. A young guy, or not a young guy, but a guy that's hungry, hasn't held this position at the NFL level yet. He's going to put in the work. So it'll be interesting to see. It's nice that there is still some cohesiveness. It seems like everyone talks about how everyone needs time to get used to Coach Staley's defense. And that would apply to coaches as well. So the more consistency, I think that's a win from a consistency basis. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess we don't really know how much Renaldo Hill was doing, being a DC that doesn't call plays. So we'll see. I guess if this year goes a lot better, maybe Renaldo wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. Also interesting to think like why he was so excited to jump at a lesser position with the Dolphins and leave I would assume a higher paying job and a higher position with the Chargers. Why he was so quick to jump ship and go back with Vic. I don't know. I'm still kind of undecided on the whole thing. I think we'll have to see how the season goes, but right off the bat, it doesn't seem like it's like a great thing. But I guess we'll see.
All right. So Kyle's doesn't sound too sold.
He's on the fence. The only thing, like, Ansley's great. I'm excited. He's our new defensive coordinator, so I'm on the Ansley bandwagon. Let's go. Let's coordinate the shit out of this. The only thing that stresses me out a little bit is the fact that Renaldo Hill took a step back into a lesser position for another team. Like, you don't always see that as the case, and I think that just shows Brandon Staley is the defensive coordinator of this team. And It's kind of like the Eric Bieniemy thing where he's like, I want to call all the plays so much that I'm willing to go to Washington. That's how bad this is,
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is this is the defense version of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like how that happened. I'm excited for Ansley though.
Yeah. Reading it, because when you read it, it's not that Chargers let Renaldo Hill go or fired him or anything like that. It was he wanted to go to Miami. Whatever carrot Vic Fangio was dangling for Renaldo Hill, that was big enough for him to be like, all right, I'm going to step down as defensive coordinator for the Chargers and go over to Miami. And as Kyle mentioned, it's like, okay, yeah, Brandon Staley's calling plays for defensive coordinator. And so it becomes an office space situation of like, so what would you say you do here?
Yeah.
And I'm obviously there's got to be something that he's doing. He's not just standing there. He's not holding a clipboard and smiling for the cameras. He's like there's more to the position than calling plays. But was that something that wasn't satisfying for him? Did he wanted to treat this as a possible stepping stone and move up somewhere? I don't know. Like, I don't know what was happening behind the scenes that would cause him to say the pastures over in Miami as the defensive back passing game coordinator are greener than where I am as defensive coordinator here for the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
So that part is it's just weird. I don't know if I'd say it's concerning. It's just weird. And so weird. Now with Ansley coming up, what's interesting was Tom Pelissero tweeted out that the Chargers coach Brandon Staley wanted to find a way to promote Ansley and Donatel, two bright young coaches who were highly sought after in this hiring cycle. And when Hill got an opportunity to join Miami as their defensive back coach / pass game coordinator, the timing lined up for everyone. So there was already a plan to find a way to get Ansley up. It just seemed, I mean, this could have been talked about for weeks. Like, who knows how long this was already in the works. And it just so happened that on the day that he said, okay, I'm going to go to Miami, that they were just like, well, we already got replacements lined up.
Yeah.
And as Kyle mentioned, that Ansley's got previous experience being defensive coordinator, calling plays. How much is that going to matter when Brandon Staley's the one calling the plays as defensive coordinator?
We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see.
And it's interesting too, because it's not like they brought in somebody new. So the Spanos are going to save a little money on payroll because they're getting one coach doing two duties that used to be split between two coaches. So DB coach and pass game coordinator now for Donatel. So I think that's kind of interesting. They didn't like go out and grab somebody new. It was like, okay, these guys fit. These guys are going to be able to handle these three positions. I'm not worried about it. So I'm still a Staley guy. Staley I trust. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah. I think it's, if anything, what's funny is that I remember Staley saying that like this wasn't the end of the coaching changes that we were expecting to see.
Right.
And maybe he knew that Renaldo Hill either wasn't happy or just wanted to go somewhere else where he could maybe feel more useful. I don't know.
It's wild. I'd love to ask him the questions and get a real answer.
I would love to get an explanation.
We're never going to get that.
No, we never will. It'll just be one of life's greatest mysteries. Matt Zenitz tweeted out the Los Angeles Chargers are hiring Georgia analyst Robert Muschamp as a quality control coach. Muschamp, a nephew of Will Muschamp and a former Auburn tight end, worked at Georgia in the last 2 years after 2 years at Tennessee.
Some fresh blood, more young blood,
more faces for the Chargers coaching staff, which again will be interesting to see how all of that pans out. It's, like Kyle said, it's not an exciting thing for Ansley to come up. Like, I'm rooting for him. Obviously, I want him to do a good job, but it was like hiring Kellen Moore. That's exciting. That's when you go like, okay, we know the pedigree we're getting with Kellen Moore. Derrick Ansley, okay. Like,
still Coach Staley's defense. That's
absolutely.
The difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right. And so Derrick Ansley, who was the, I can't remember, what was his position
DB
prior?
coach.
He was the DB coach.
Yeah.
So it's not the positive, or at least the pros that I can see from this is that, like, all right, well, the players already have some rapport with Ansley.
It's an easy adjustment.
It's an easy adjustment.
Yeah. And like everyone says, like his complex is, his defense is complex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, this is the easiest step you could make to just shuffle things around a little bit. But it's like that was the biggest hire, was the offensive coordinator, because Staley puts that all on him. That is your decision. You're making those calls.
Right.
I am running this defense. So the fact that we have so little turnover, even though we have new coordinators, we have one new coordinator and one, the title's a little different on defense. Yeah.
Right.
And it still knows the guy's still part of the locker room. Yeah, exactly. Just a little Sharpie and just cross that out, scribble it in.
Defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but we got
or
some
DC, whatever you got to do.
But we got some new faces, so that's good.
Right, and we've got a new face over at Patreon, folks.
Dude, I literally underhanded softball. I was setting you up for that.
God bless you.
You're welcome. Hey, take a swing.
Finally,
swing it. You ready? I'm gonna throw it. It only took me 254 episodes.
That's right, folks. Patreon.com/ChargerChat. We need to shout out our newest patron, Andrew Ramsey.
Welcome to the party, pal.
There you go. Let's go. Thank you so much for joining us over at Patreon.com/ChargerChat. Feel free, folks, to go on over there, check out all the funny stuff that we've got. We have lots of plans this offseason. We were talking about it just before doing this episode. We want to make Patreon as good as it could possibly be for this offseason for you folks. Those of you that have joined, we want to make it an awesome, fun time. And so for those of you that haven't, know you are walking into an offseason where we have lots of big plans for Patreon.com/ChargerChat. But if you don't want to go over there, that is all right. Please don't hang your head about it. You can go on over to ChargerChat.com, check out all the cool stuff we've got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in our members section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check out ChargerChat.com. All right, folks, it's time to go on to the next segment. You know them, you love them. It's a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Great experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Yo. What's going on, good people? And welcome to another off-season edition. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, cats, ducks, chickens, dogs, various other mammals, whoever's tuning in, I appreciate you. And welcome to, as I said before, another edition, off-season edition of the Craig Experience. You haven't really heard from me since the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to dive too deeply in this. We all know what happened. But are any of us really surprised? In any of these high leverage Chiefs games, I have this fun little game that I like to play, right? Where I try to predict around about the time, down to the second, of when I think the refs are going to step in and make some sort of call that alters the game in the Chiefs' favor. And I haven't been that far off the last couple times. This one, I thought we were going to skate. When they got down to like the last 2 minutes or so, or around about that time, whenever the pass interference, holding call, whatever it was, took place, I really just thought they were going to let them play it out. For the record, there was holding on that play. But I am not a proponent of making calls like that at those points in those types of games. Now, if you're going to abide by the letter, blah, blah, of the law, on the very same play, literally in the same camera shot, depending on the angle, but I have a picture of it right here just in case you want to take a look. There was a hands to the face call that was relatively egregious, in my opinion, by Orlando Brown on Josh Sweat. It's in the same frame. But the refs, for some reason, just said the hell with that and decided they were going to go ahead and call the interference / holding call, whatever it was. Again, don't remember exactly what it was, whatever. All I know is that it resulted in an automatic first down, continuation of a drive for the Chiefs, which led to a game-winning field goal. It's pretty sick at this point, but you might as well just strap yourselves in. I honestly do feel that the Chiefs are the new Patriots. Is what it is. So just deal with it, I guess, till you don't have to. But outside of that, moving on. In other Chargers news, out of the blue here, some sort of kind of surprising news, just I guess, based on where we are to this point in the offseason. The fact that we are a few weeks removed, we saw some changes already. Derrick Ansley is your new defensive coordinator in place of Renaldo Hill, who's moving on to Miami. And for some reason, the Chargers are becoming like this weird pipeline to the Dolphins. Keeping tabs on that for the next few years. You know, it's kind of like an Eagles thing, then to the Colts, and now like the Dolphins are being thrown into the fray. Really weird 6 degrees of separation thing. But speaking of 6 degrees of separation, Wooly, ironically enough, the Chargers' new defensive coordinator actually played college ball with my best friend at Troy in Alabama. Super weird connections there, but my life's full of them. So just add that one on to the docket. But I was a little, just slightly, not really confused, but thought about the timing of this just based on what happened last year, the way that the defense played throughout, the unevenness of it. And I figured that there would end up being a scapegoat. And being that Renaldo Hill didn't call plays, just seemed like he would be the easy person out of the door, because someone should have to, like, I guess, pay for some of the ineptitude on that side of the ball, the inconsistent play, particularly there in that last game of the season, playoffs against the Jaguars, which we will not revisit in any great detail because we have been tortured enough by that. And I think we're all to the point of where we're starting to come to terms with it and getting through the recovery. But man, I don't know. There are some rumblings that some other teams were interested in Donatel, Ed's son, I believe it's Ed's son, who's being elevated to DB coach, passing game coordinator, which is what Ansley was, DB coach, not passing game coordinator. But, you know, moving up the chain. And so as a way to maintain some continuity and keep these guys on the roster, a part of the organization and the staff, they let Renaldo walk. And now he's getting to play under Vic Fangio. Getting coaches and staff all jumbled up there. Whatever, pay me no mind. Back under Vic. So another Daniel Miyagi situation. Hope for the best for him. Maybe he gets to have a little bit more input defensively over there. I really don't know how that works, because literally if you're going to the teacher who the coach that you worked for previously was mentored by, and you didn't get to call plays for that coach, and you're going to essentially the teacher of teachers of the defense, then I'm not sure what you're going to do there. But again, hope the best for him, whatever happens. Maybe it's some sort of mentorship thing where Vic coaches for a few years and then Hill gets to take over. We shall see. His deal. But I digress. Back to the Chargers. Now you've seen position changes. See, I did it again. Coaching changes on both the offensive, OC, defensive side of the ball, which is a pretty big deal. So not sure how much action you're going to see in free agency in regards to players, but the coaching staff is getting mixed up a bit. It was kind of like flip-flop job last season. Kind of had the coaching continuity last year, kind of, sort of, but new players, Chargers roster looked very different going into this season. Some bigger names. Probably not going to be much of that going on this offseason due to the cap situation, and I do not envy Ed McGuire because, man, as much as we've lauded that man for the great job that he's done, he is in for one these next couple of months. But if anyone can pull it off, in Ed I trust. But yeah, once again, glad that's not my gig. They put that man in a bit of a pickle. So just kind of piggybacking off of that. Yeah, free agency might be a little boring because it's going to be mainly about, I believe, retaining some of your core guys and seeing about restructuring some other cats on the roster to see if you can keep some others around and not necessarily having to cut some of the key pieces of your team, particularly on the offensive side of the ball with a one very important wide receiver whose presence is always felt when he's not on the field. And last season was a direct indication of that. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Keenan Allen. Man, I'm not going to delve too deeply into that because we'll just see how this all plays out. I don't want to imagine a world where Keenan Allen is not a part of the Chargers, but have to be realistic. You know, if I'm nothing else, I am that. There's a very real chance that could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? Ultimately, no. But then it brings the question up of, well, if you're going to keep him, what do you change? Should be fun. Like I said before, Ed, feel for your dog, but that's why you get paid the big bucks, I guess. But outside of that, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Coming up over the course of the next few weeks, we'll get into deep diving draft prospects, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently this year. You'll see what I mean as we go along. But I think we can condense some stuff down here, as opposed to doing just like all and out rankings of players that the Chargers won't have a shot at, probably wouldn't draft if they had the opportunity anyway. And maneuver around that to some more concise evaluations of players and cats that have a real opportunity of being on this squad going into next season. But until then, I appreciate you guys. And I didn't even do the proper greeting again. You see what all this offseason stuff does? It throws me off my game. So, salute to you all and to the CC gang, of course. I appreciate you. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Until then, take it easy. K, love you, bye.
Well, it's a small world, isn't it? That we've got our very own Craig having some 6 degrees of separation with our new defensive coordinator.
I know. It's exciting.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we'll get a little more insight from him throughout the year, and maybe he'll get some tidbits, some crackers.
Throw a friend request out, Craig, on Facebook. See if Mr. Ansley bites.
Yeah.
But yeah, boy, I do not envy Mr. McGuire. Yeah, that really is just it. I don't even want to think about it. Like, it's gonna be,
dude. Just we need to prepare ourselves. There's gonna be some cuts that you're gonna be like, oh shit, like that sucks. I do not think it's gonna be Keenan Allen. I don't either. I think that's just so stupid. With what Justin needs. You're building everything around Justin, and you take away one of his best weapons, one of his most important go-to guys. That just doesn't make sense. Right. I think you're going to see it in other places, and then you're going to have some rookies step up, or you're going to have some guys come in that they're a lot cheaper than a contract that they might get otherwise. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason. Like Craig said, it's going to be more about. I mean, we've seen a lot of coaching changes, but I don't think we will see much free agency moves. It'll probably be pretty quiet. If there is a splash, it's going to catch us all off guard because it's going to be like, okay, wait, with what money are you splashing?
I think
this
if anything, it'll be like a trade. Like you'll get a
that would be interesting.
Like a player trade.
Yeah, to see some trades with Mr. Tommy T.
Yeah, like if you're going to see something crazy, I think that's kind of the world you're going to live in.
We will have to wait and see, but Craig, thank you as always for another awesome Craig experience.
And I'm excited to do his draft for his draft.
I am
prep.
too.
So.
He really teased that as far as doing something different. So Craig, we cannot wait to see what that is. Thank you. And now, folks, it is time to go on to Ask Boltfam. Can we get Kyle the Coach Duggan? I don't know.
Find out on the other side of this intro.
But son of a gun, we're gonna try. Let's go.
Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated. Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
Jesus, if you're there, please bring Kyle the Coach Duggan back.
He's here. Open your eyes.
He's here. Kyle. Oh, thank you, Jeebus.
we were like making bets at the beginning and like just like Kyle, he's gonna do everything he can, and literally right before we segue this, we'll see on the other side of the intro. And he's here.
I don't think Kevin thought I was actually going to be able to come on. Like, give me like an actual percentage of what you thought the chance of me coming on here was.
I thought honestly maybe like a 15. Whenever you hear puke in child, it's usually you're things are not looking good.
Right.
So the fact
really,
you're here,
the ball is just not in my. It's not in my court at that point. You know, it's really up to chance.
Yeah,
it's in God's hands.
It's in God's hands.
Luckily, the little tyke made a turn for the better, and he's sleeping restfully.
Awesome.
Good
well, you made it just in time. It's time for Ask Boltfam. And
my favorite.
Boy, we are officially in the off season. There are some weird ass questions we've got in here. I hope you're ready. Lock in. Let's go. Start it off at the top with Bolt Up Cat.
Patreon shout out. Yay. Bolt Up Cat. Yay.
Who asked the question? In the spirit of Valentine's Day, who is your favorite Chargers bromance, past, present, or future? I'll go first. I feel like Keenan Allen and Mike Dubs hang out on and off the field. They support each other on getting wide open and also on the getting past the windmill for a bro date on the miniature golf course. Am I right, everybody?
All right.
Okay, this next part is not in the spirit of love, but I loathe the Chiefs. Also, I'd like to dedicate this song, ABCDEFU, to the Chiefs. Here we go. ABCDEFU, and your squad, and your refs, and your job, and Arrowhead Stadium, and your brother Jackson. F*** you and your fans that I'll see next season. Everybody but Kelsey's mom, you can all off. It's a real song, I promise. Hey, love you, bye.
Well done.
Okay. Well
done.
Thank you,
yeah.
Bolt Up Cat, for an awesome song to take us
I
out.
love songs.
All right. So, favorite Chargers bromance, past, present, or future?
Go ahead, Kyle. You're new to the podcast, so go ahead.
No, dude, I feel like I haven't gotten to warm up. I haven't. Yeah, my brain is not functioning on a creative level right now.
We'll give you a second to stretch. Activate. I'll say the one that is one of the most classic of all time has got to be Phil Rivers and Antonio Gates. Like that's the ultimate in bromance technology. Like they score all the time. Yeah. They are finishing the date with a score. And that's the sign of a good Valentine.
Absolutely.
Got to score.
Got to score.
Got to score.
I like it.
What you got, Kyle? You activated yet? We can go down.
No, Wooly, you're ready. You're ready. I can tell.
Okay.
He'll be activated. He'll be ready soon.
I don't even necessarily. It's funny. You say Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates. I say Phillip Rivers and Charlie Whitehurst.
Quarterback Q on QB action.
I think that's the bromance. I think in the same sense that we see Justin Herbert and Easton Stick and Chase Daniel. I think Phillip Rivers and Charlie Whitehurst. I think there was a bit of a bromance there of guys looking out for each other.
Yeah, but Gates was, catches all the balls.
Gates had all the glory. I'm not taking anything away from your
on-field bromance
answer.
was good.
when the lights were the brightest.
Yeah,
away from prying eyes.
Yeah. The behind doors bromance.
Charlie Whitehurst.
The meeting room romance.
Yeah.
Coffee. The water cooler romance that was
the glances from across the room.
Yeah.
The slight nods. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right. You got one, Kyle?
Oh man, I don't know. This is hard. It really is like I have not warmed up. My brain is not firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, who's the two that I know they don't have the greatest things to say about the Chargers, but it's Danny Woodhead, and who's the other one that hosts that podcast?
Slauson.
Yeah, I don't like their I don't like their bromance at all.
Oh no, they don't.
No, they're Charger haters, dude.
Well, no, but I mean, like, they're friends. They're bromantically involved.
They're both a couple of Nebraska boys, but
yeah.
No, I think Braden Fajoko and anyone else on the team. I feel like he just has a bromance with everyone on the whole team.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves teasing him or like joking with them.
Yeah.
It's just Braden Fajoko and anybody on the team.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
He's the team bicycle. Everybody's had a ride.
God.
Bolt Up Cat, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Ma Iorbas.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question?
Why did Frederick Fraud Holmes fake his injury during the Super Bowl?
To win?
I don't think
know.
he saw. I think he was all about that MVP award. In order to win the big coveted award, you got to tell a story. You got to have the underdog couldn't do it. We weren't even expected to make the playoffs kind of energy, and just slowly. He persevered through all the pain, all of the limping, all of the whining.
It's a good
what
take.
A champion.
That's what it takes to be an MVP.
That's a good take. I kind of buy it. I think he's just really, really soft. I think he just sucks. He's just a dumb person, and he was like, "Oh,
a little
we're losing.
melodramatic.
It's not my fault. Look, I'm hurt." That's really how I felt.
Did you guys see the there's an edit of Mahomes on some talk show after the Super Bowl, and it's like a hard cut to Kenny Powers.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? Their voices are the same.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that made me laugh.
It's pretty
so
perfect.
hard.
Yeah.
They have the same hair. It's the same person. The same stupid.
Right. You close your eyes. You don't
about
hear
It's the same
energy.
exact thing.
Yeah.
And one of them's making a joke of it, and the other one is himself.
Dead serious. Yeah. Himself. Just real.
Real. But I think he was hurt. In all real, he was hurt. He was just milking the shit out of it.
But yeah,
It was
it's just when he had a
over the
bad
top.
play, he chose to milk it, which is just the worst kind of person.
Right. Yeah, that's villain stuff. When you're watching the movie as an audience and you see the villain get all like, "Oh, woe's me," but then everything is fine.
Yeah.
Villain
Cheap shot.
arc right there. Ma Yorubas, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Dingleberry Teabag.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question?
That's fresh.
That's disgusting.
It's a hot pot of fresh.
How is baby made?
Well,
Gotta
Dingleberry
take care of those
Teabag.
dingleberries. Yeah.
Make sure you clear up the dingleberries. We have 7 right here on this
Between us,
podcast,
yeah.
so we're
When
good
a
at
man
it.
and
I
a
don't
woman
know.
love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lay down.
Yeah. You
Or
hold
stand.
hands.
I guess
How
it's
old
up
are
to
you,
you.
Dingleberry?
You hold either you hold hands, and 9 months later there's
His
a baby.
name is Dingleberry Teabag. How old do you think? he
Probably,
is?
I'm
gotta be-
guessing 16 to
Careful,
22.
careful.
Maybe
Careful.
30. 16
Yeah.
to 30. Somewhere in there. I love the name. Don't get me wrong. I love the name.
Yeah.
I love the name.
Yeah.
Just
That might be one you want to Google there, Dingleberry Teabag.
No.
But,
Dude, no.
Hey, go for it. I don't think we're going to do a good job
under
on
the
it
web
on
part.
here.
Just,
Those
Don't click
keywords you got to
videos.
stay away from.
or images. Just stay on the web portion.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're under
Wikipedia.
18, don't lie. Don't go on those
Kyle,
sites.
how about this, Kyle? You know, at some point we're gonna have to have this conversation with our kids.
Oh no, what are you doing right
What's
now?
the birds and the bees? How do you explain
What
that?
are you
How do you
doing
explain
what are you
that?
doing right now?
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help Dingleberry Teabag. Okay,
I
he had a
haven't-
serious
I haven't-
Three
question.
questions in, and Kyle's like barely like cognizant of where he's at, and you're like,
And I
"Come on,
have to
Kyle,
have
let's do this."
My full strategy on how I'm going to
Which-
deliver the birds and the bees talk. My son's 5. I haven't come to I haven't figured out
game
how I
plan?
want to deliver that. If we're just going to go and very scientific, or if we're going to go a little bit. I don't know. I don't know
Like,
yet.
like flashcards kind of
Yeah.
thing. You never know.
I don't
There's a lot of
puppets.
ways.
There's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Multiple choice.
Team
quiz,
America
there's a lot of
World-
stuff we can do.
So what I'm gonna do is show my kid Team America World Police. There's one scene in there, and
Oh,
he'll get
God.
the idea pretty quick while laughing.
Or he'll get the wrong idea really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few positions in that movie. May want to stay away from, pal.
Just don't show him the unrated one.
Yes, true.
Okay. Dingleberry Teabag.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, and thank you
Good
for
luck.
asking the question.
Good luck.
Let's move on now to Mickey Coates, who asked the question.
I'm curious about your guys' music tastes. What are your favorite albums / artists?
All right. Off season.
It's a good question.
What kind of music you guys like?
I feel old because like I'm kind of locked into a certain era of music now and like new stuff. Like I had
You're
that
just
old
stuck.
person era where I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what the is that, bro? Like, that doesn't.
Excuse me.
Am I not hearing this right? Because that doesn't sound good in my ear.
Yeah.
But I'm like late 90s, early 2000s, like, you know, Chili Peppers, Foo Fighters, Incubus, like that kind of rock is kind of my jam. But I also go with some of the old school, like the R&B kind of soul kind of stuff. My dad used to listen to that a lot. Like that was kind of his tunes. So, you know, can't go wrong with like Celebrate, Good Times, come on. Gotta celebrate. What's the name of that? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
There
And
you
hey,
go.
where was it? It was Dingleberry Teabag. If you really want to know how babies are made, Marvin
Go
Gaye.
listen to some of that music.
Go
Yeah.
turn that shit on, and it'll come into your mind how it happens.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
how
yeah.
it works. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you there, Kyle? Anything different?
I right now I listen to mostly country music. I know it's not the popular opinion, but that's primarily
Country.
what
Whatever you like.
I
Who cares?
just feel like most people are like, I like all music except country. That's like the go-to
That was
answer.
when we were growing up. It was like I like everything except rap. Like,
Yeah.
like it's a different thing for every generation. But dude, if it's what you like, who cares?
Yeah, that's what we jam to in our household is country music.
Who's the top artist or band that?
I really like Blake Shelton. Kind of in that early 2000s country, like Brad Paisley, Blake Shelton, all
Nice.
those guys. Yeah,
Cool.
So, what about you, Bulldog?
Yeah, I'm similar to Kevin, where I've definitely got like
Old man ears.
when you find a band that you like, or an album you like, or a song you like, you're like, this is my repeat, and I will listen to this until the wheels fall off. I'm certainly a big fan of like Tom Petty. Love Tom Petty. Wildflowers is probably the best album. I think I remember getting that for, I can't remember if it was birthday or Christmas, but it was a gift, because I remember I listened to Full Moon Fever quite a lot for Tom Petty. But I mean, like Kevin, I love Incubus, love Gorillaz, love I like weird stuff too.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
got
like,
some Primus, some Buckethead.
love Primus, Buckethead, Slipknot.
I love Slipknot.
Yeah, like I mean, it just, there's not too much that I dislike. You know, it's just whatever floats my boot. Like I'll even throw some Skrillex in there from time to time, because I just like, you know what?
When the beat drops, you need a beat to drop.
Drop the bass. You know, I'm all about that. So,
And I can't leave out just because I really fell in love with my wife going to a concert for this band, Blink 182. Just because
there
it
you
was
go.
like
Yeah.
a San Diego SoCal, like
hell yeah.
but my wife was in a mosh pit and did some stuff in there that I was like,
Knocked out Kevin.
She's a fucking keeper.
Oh, God, who was that?
Yeah, she'll keep me safe if I'm ever. Yeah, no,
It's probably a headbutt.
Oh, it wasn't. No, that's exactly what it was. She wasn't taking no shit off nobody in that pit, and I was
awesome.
Always to this day.
Very cool. And Ben Folds. I always got to throw Ben Folds out there. Love my Ben Folds. So, Mickey Coates, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Aggressive Cherry 964. And shout out to Icy 2527. Icy, you didn't necessarily ask the same question, but you were asking a Renaldo Hill question, and it just don't matter no more. So I'm going with Aggressive Cherry 964.
And both certified fresh.
Who asked the question? Hey, what's up, kids? With Renaldo Hill's news just emerging, do you youngins have any idea who might replace him, or do you think whoever it is, Staley will be the main play caller? Also, just wanted to say you fantastic fetuses are wonderful, and I look forward every week to y'all. Can't love you back.
Thanks, Aggressive Cherry 964. Appreciate you.
Well, we know that the replacement came in real quick.
Yeah, didn't waste any time on that.
There was no downtime.
There was no time for speculation. It was out in.
Yeah. So Derrick Ansley is the guy. We all know. And will Staley continue to be the main play caller? I mean, all signs point to yes, that he's not giving up those duties anytime soon. But thanks for calling us fetuses. We try to look young.
Hey, I take that as a compliment.
Fetus is the ultimate young that we could possibly be. So
appreciate you.
Thank you, Aggressive Cherry 964 and Icy 2527. Love you both. Thank you.
Positive way to look at being called a fetus.
Absolutely. That's the only way I can. That's how I live my life, baby.
Baby.
Let's move it on now to OM Run. Who asked the question? What is your favorite football movie for real and not just because it's hysterically bad? And what's better, Star Wars or Spaceballs? Just kidding. It's Spaceballs, of course. I have to agree. As much as I love Star Wars and I've watched it countless times, Spaceballs will consistently make me laugh more than Star Wars ever will.
Yeah.
And so, Spaceballs is the winner.
It won't make you cry, though. Some of the Star Wars movies will.
Not the OG Star Wars.
No, the newer ones.
They'll make me cry because I'm like, why did they make this?
Should have quit while you're ahead.
Why is she flying in space?
Yeah, exactly. That one was the worst.
Why can't they tell an original story? All right, but favorite football movie?
What you got, Coach?
I can go first. Yeah,
you've got that one locked and loaded.
Remember the Titans is probably my all-time favorite movie of anything, and it also happens to be about football. So, for me, it's Remember the Titans with Friday Night Lights, the movie close behind.
I will go next. I have hands down The Program. It's my favorite football movie, just because it's awesome. And favorite football scene. It's not a football movie, but there's a football scene in a movie that is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Last Boy Scout.
It's Point Break.
Oh,
the beach football scene. That one's that one's not good.
That's not
that football movie's not good. But Point Break for sure. The beach football scene with Johnny Football when they realize that he's a college quarterback.
It's Utah.
It's Utah. And he becomes like tight with all the surfers because they respect his game, and blew out his knee and all that shit. It was pretty sweet.
I like it. Boy, as I try to think about it, there's not a lot of football movies that I've watched more than once. There is one, though, I can say that I've at least seen a couple of times, and that's Draft Day. I really enjoy watching Draft Day. I think everything leading up to the end, like it's a crazy ending that you were just like, how is he going to pull this off?
Right.
And as soon as he does, it's just like, that's amazing. Like there's no way in the world that would ever happen, but I love it anyways because it's awesome. And it's a great ending. The ending is so good.
It's just so crazy that it's like such a popular football movie when there's so little football in that
there's
movie.
Like no football involved.
It's literally just what we're doing right now. It's like, let's speculate about picking players to put on our team. But I watch it every year. It's a yearly thing before the draft.
It's become a yearly thing for me now that it's been brought to my attention.
It's like the Christmas Story. You just watch it before Christmas. You do
even if you don't want to. You just watch
put it on in the background. It just needs to happen.
There you go.
Kevin Costner.
All right. OM Run, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Jacob Duell, who asked the question.
Ooh, hey guys, Jacob from Iowa. In the first round, assume we go offense due to more potentially wanting more help. Ooh, see what I did there? Ooh, yeah. I'm so ashamed of myself. Would you rather go tight end with either Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer, or a speedy wide receiver? Ooh, yeah.
What would you rather?
This is a very dividing question for the Charger fan base. There's everyone screaming from the rooftops, speed, speed, speed. But I want a really awesome tight end. That's where I want to go. I want somebody that can improve our run game and also be a threat to catch the ball. So if neither one of if Michael Mayer's not available, I would consider going, a speedy wide receiver. Like that's kind of where I'm at right there. Unless there's a dope offensive lineman just sitting there that fell, kind of like the Rashawn Slater thing. That somewhere in the offense is what I want addressed.
Yeah, it seems like at our spot in the draft, you're more likely to get a really top end tight end as opposed to a top end wide receiver with how fast they keep going. Seems like more and more they're going at the top 10 picks of the draft.
Sure.
So it feels like, I think with the way things are going to fall, I would rather have that stud tight end that can. It just seems like it's consistently like the Chiefs. Did they have a speed guy? They had the ultimate speed guy. He left last offseason and they still won a Super Bowl.
Right. Because
why? They have freaking Travis stupid Kelce because he's so consistently just all the time good. And so I just think that the great offenses have a consistently great tight end, and we need a guy that can do both. We don't have a guy that can block right now on our and catch on our roster.
Complete tight end right now.
No,
sure.
Right. I would have to agree, even though it's interesting because I think there was a video that just came out, and I'm going to shout out Boltbeat because they talked about it. They had an article about it. Our boy Jason Reed, with Austin Eckler at some event. I don't know what the event was. Was that what it was?
Yeah,
the Super Bowl. Oh, okay.
He was on some shows and he said he had some opinions at the Super Bowl. He kind of got in some hot water with some fans.
Well, he talked about Lombardi a little bit. He talked about a lot.
Justin.
Well, the one thing that at least Bolt Beat mentioned was his comment on not having a speedy wide receiver.
Right.
That Jalen Guyton going down, we don't have anybody that was as fast as Jalen Guyton, and we didn't get anybody during the season. And so if we want to be able to throw the ball downfield, you got to have a speedy wide receiver. But I don't think you necessarily need to spend a first round pick on getting a speedy wide receiver. I think there's still going to be speedy wide receivers in the following rounds. Yeah.
Second, third.
But I think a first round tight end, I think can be a game changer.
That's a plug and play right now.
That's a plug and play position. Like, when you look at examples like Travis Kelce, Antonio Gates, Rob Gronkowski, all of these guys, you want that for Justin Herbert. You want Justin Herbert to have one of those kind of guys. As much as if they pick a speedy wide receiver in the first, I'm not going to be upset. Obviously, it's just whatever they think is going to be the best. But I would agree that I think a tight end like either Kincaid or Mayer, I'm down for either one of those guys. But whatever happens, whatever be will be. But Jacob Duell, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson. Who asked the question.
I was watching Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs with my kids and got me thinking of an off-season question. What main food and what dessert would you have fall from the sky? Mine would be during the day and dessert at night.
Got to go brisket. Got to go a whole bunch of meat.
Just a bunch of victory.
Just victory. You know what it means. If it's raining brisket, the Chargers are doing well. And the brisket brats are on fire. So yeah, I would say the brisket.
Brisket during the day, and what dessert would be falling at night?
Protein shakes, so you recover after victory brisket.
It's the worst dessert ever.
A dessert protein shake.
The worst weather ever.
A milkshake. A milkshake with some protein.
Protein shake at night and just meat during the day.
That sounds great.
Sounds like Gaines to me.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that wagon.
Gaines. I would, from a not Chargers perspective, from a more logistical point, I would say for dessert.
We're going to really see what we're going to fall from this guy.
Yeah.
We really want to get to be serious about this.
Hey, it's the off season. What else are we going to do?
The question. Yeah.
Let's go.
I think dessert, I would say like shave ice, some flavored cold.
Like hail?
Hail, yes. Some like
flavored hail. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're picking up what I'm putting down, guys.
Some pina colada hail.
Some flavored hail.
Yeah, some flavored hail. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be pina colada, but I mean, for Hawaiian shave ice, I think something tropical.
Ow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Delicious.
What about you?
And during the day, meat would go bad. It'd be rotting. It would
meat would be kind of tough. I know where you went with the victory brisket, but if we're looking logistically, that's tough.
That's pretty rough. Yeah. What is a main course? Maybe
I think I would go with. This is not really a main course, but like, I can always eat it no matter what. Even if I'm full, I will eat it. It's French fries. Rain French fries down on me, and I can eat that no matter what.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those McDonald's fries last for like years, so
and I could eat it. Yeah, no matter how full I am, I could finish off a basket of French fries.
Even if it hit the ground, 5 second rule.
Oh yeah, even if it hit the ground. Come on.
The problem is if it's still on the ground when that shaved
palace?
ice comes, you're screwed because it's gonna get all
Well,
soggy.
that's why got to be on top of it. Got to be ready for it.
We're not. Are we talking quantities here? Like, is this just for me or is it for everybody?
Dude, no. And
Is that my own personal? It's like Eeyore
rains.
in your own rainstorm, just following you around.
No, this is the whole town. This is all of Los Angeles County. This is like everything.
I don't know.
This is Missouri. This is everywhere.
Well, we'd solve a lot of food crisis issues.
I'm food shortages. Yeah.
Not obesity problem, but that's besides
No.
One step
What
at a
would
time.
you rather die from? Obesity or starvation? Take your pick.
Good point.
All right. Well, I think we answered the question.
Yeah.
Gavin Gibson, thank you.
I don't know if we did.
We did. Oh, we did.
Shut up, Kyle. We
definitely did.
Let's move on now to Scotty B63, who asked the question: why does the off season seem to drag on forever? Is the USFL worth watching to fill the void? Can't let me buy.
I'm more of an XFL guy. I think the XFL guy's taken over the market.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, Kyle, as far as like some of the possible rule changes that have been brought up to NFL being tested, at least in the XFL.
Right.
It's at least somewhat interesting to watch, to like, okay, well, this could potentially be something that might come to the NFL. USFL, I don't know. I don't know if they've got their rules set in stone.
The XFL is kind of like a feeder, is what they kind of try to communicate, is that they have some affiliation with the NFL as far as like doing experimental rules and players going up and down type of stuff. So I would say watch the XFL if you're trying. It doesn't really fill the void though. It really doesn't. It doesn't do the trick because there's nothing. I got nothing vested there. They didn't even put a team near us, so it's kind of tough.
We got the St. Louis Battlehawks. Adam, if you want to get in on that.
Yeah.
Go to a
they had a big
Battlehawks
dub,
game.
actually. They had a crazy comeback in that.
Yeah, with all the crazy new rules. I
they
really
went
like
for,
that.
Like the 4th and 15 onside kick thing.
Yeah,
and they got
instead
it.
of that, yeah. And then they won in like a minute.
What did they
30.
do? Like they went for 3?
Yeah,
so
you can. Yeah, you can get like a 3. You can get certain.
You go for
out,
1 or 2 or 3, depending on.
You can still kick a
point.
field goal, but you can like go further back.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
It's kind of fun, but it doesn't fill the void.
No,
it's it's an interesting watch, but I don't think it will fill that void. I think you just need to hold tight.
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
Scotty, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to House of Pain, who asked the question. Well, I say we better lock up Justin to a contract ASAP. Before he has an outstanding season and we have to, give up everything to keep him. His deal won't hit the cap till after his 5th year option. Do you think he will get a $290 million deal? He will be worth every penny. Kid, love you, bye.
Well,
it's going to be way more than that.
Well, Daniel Jones wants $45 million a year. Did you hear that news? Like, so somebody made a good point. He's gonna set the floor.
The floor, yeah.
And the floor, if that floor is $45 million a year,
he might not get signed, dude. Honestly, nobody. He might just not be a free agent if he's asked $45 million.
But I mean, if somebody's like, if he's gets close to that,
oh yeah,
you're setting the floor, and then no matter what he does this year, he's going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league because there's no regression from Herbert so far. He's reliable. You can count on him.
Even when injured, he's still
he's going to be worth the money no matter what. So I want them to do it this year, 100%, just so we can get it out of the way and they can start
out of the way. Yeah,
make financial planning, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not as worried about that right now as I am about all these. Because he's going to be a Charger for the rest of his career. Like the Chargers aren't going to mess around with that. No. Like you don't pass up on locking him down forever. I'm more worried about some other players right now, but we'll see what.
But it will he will get more expensive. To the point of the question, it's like the longer you wait, the more expensive he's going to get.
Yeah,
because it's just the value is going up every single year with every position. So with the cap space going up, these guys are going to ask for more. It's just inevitable. So if we already believe that he will be a Charger for a long, long time, then you might as well just do the deal. Get it done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Big time. House of Hain, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Athir Kadir.
Athir.
Who asked the question.
Let's go. I have a question for the coach. How important is it for the Bolts to get the ring next year, knowing Herbert will have a young team because of his contract? He will get paid big, like $45 million a year. FTR Bolts up 2023, baby.
All right. Well, in connection with what we were just talking about, if the Bolts get a ring this upcoming year, this upcoming season, I mean, how important is that as far as Herbert and getting his contract set up and all that jazz? Like, do we want to get it before he signs the contract?
You obviously, it gives you more freedom to build a roster around him, right? Because you have more cap space if he's not taking. Right now, he's making like $5 million a year or something like that. Does that sound right?
7 something. I can't remember what the first round is.
Going to go to $45 million, probably 50, closer to $50 million a year, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like this is the time to do it because you can put better players around him. But I just don't know. Patrick Mahomes just won. He's on a $500 million contract. So no, I don't think that it has to be right now. Yeah, this is the best time to do it, especially now in year 4. In year 4 and year 5, these are the next 2 years. It's like, all right, let's figure this crap out and get after it because it's the most likely time. Like he could still win it afterwards, but you're just gonna have less pieces around you to get that done. You're gonna have more B and C level players and less A level players because you're taking so much money. So now's the time to do it for sure.
And I will say his 4th year of college playing, he won the Rose Bowl. 4th year as a Charger, gonna win something. I feel like it's coming. This might be a good year.
And it would be so sweet to win it in Vegas too.
Oh, we're gonna be there. Can you imagine just the Die Hard Bolt Club watch party in Vegas? It'd be so much easier to collect a huge bet we're gonna put down in a couple weeks and collect on that.
All right. Well, there you go, Athir Kadir. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Superchargers fan 2006.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
Hey, Charger chat. I've been a hardcore Chargers fan since 2006. The first ever game was the 2006 Chargers versus Bengals when they went down 28-7 in the first half and rallied the second half. And when I was 12 and couldn't afford NFL Sunday ticket and had to watch the old school NFL.com ticker scoreboard, I would never see them lose a game until that heartbreaking Patriots loss when I was forever exposed to the dark shadow of the Chargers. I wish I could have had you then for all those great years of Monday Night Meltdown against the Broncos. The 2010 season where we failed to make the playoffs with the number 1 offense and defense that year. The horror when we lost Marcus McNeil and Chris Steelman in the same season and went through a rotation of left tackle that saw Rivers running for his life. The disaster that was special teams when we lost David Ben and watched multiple poor snappers each week. Teach Mike Sacris how to touch the sky when they hit the ground hard every week. The fun combo that was Drew Kaiser and Josh Lambo, and my all-time favorite, hey, diddle, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle, which I indeed took as scripture with a God of all things are possible to heart and taught me to never gamble on the Chargers in Vegas or in general. Now to the question. With how much the Chargers are
you
over the cap.
Are you okay?
It'll all make sense in a second. The massive contract I'm sure Herbert is about to get, and the fact some of the guys that are free agents have played to probably warrant a bigger contract, the Chargers are willing to pay them. I'm sure we will all be heartbroken over who leaves. With that being said, which Chargers player would you be able to stomach? 1, being traded to free up cap space / game draft picks. 2, being cut to avoid cap casualty. And 3, letting walk in free agency. I could sadly see Tranquil ended up like Kaiser White. Also saw Renaldo Hill went to the Dolphins and they elevated Derrick Ansley to DC. Oh, what are your thoughts? Love you guys. Bolt the hell up. Love the voices. Please, can you do a drunk Southerner post being kicked in the balls while chewing on dip? Is that how this works? LOL.
Dude, you were like crying.
Yeah, I thought your eye was gonna pop.
It was watering. I was like, we need to stop now. Yeah. This is getting serious.
I'm in too deep. I gotta see
this through. I've gone too far. I gotta faster to go straight ahead than turn back.
Balls.
Oh my God. Well done.
Oh boy. All right. I do this for you, Superchargers fan, since you are new. All right. So Chargers player we would be able to stomach being traded to free up cap space / gain draft picks, being cut to avoid cap casualty, and letting walk in free agency.
All right. So the person, I'll go first. The person that I could like cut and stomach, and it's mostly because of the time that he was here. And I don't know. I feel like what the direction that we're going to head in the draft is Gerald Everett. I think you could save a little bit of money by cutting him.
Yeah.
Production was kind of mediocre last year. I feel like he was kind of in and out a little bit. That pick against Kansas City week 2 still has me a little bit irked that it wasn't just like just go, dude. Like, I get it. You're tired. It's like a 5-yard route. Just go. So I feel like all of that plays into my being able to stomach that cut. I think with who we're going to draft in hopefully the first round with a big stud tight end, I think there's room on the roster to be able to cut him.
Okay.
Do you want me to go at him?
Yeah.
I think for free agency, and it's kind of a weird one because people are kind of hot on him right now, but I'd be okay with Trey Pipkins walking. I like Kyle said, like he had one good year out of how many years he was a Charger, and he looked bad for so many years. I'm glad that he got his stuff together, but for me, it's a little too late for me. And wanting to pay him a lot of money. I haven't seen him do this back to back. I haven't seen it do it in 2 years. So for me, I would rather cut ties there, not spend whatever that amount of money is, like $9-10 million a year, whatever that's going to cost. I'd rather do somebody through the draft or maybe reshuffle our offensive line, kick somebody out, maybe do a new guard in the draft. That's my guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Trey Pipkins, like he just showed up because he knew mom and dad were watching. Like, so he's acting nice. You know, like that's what this last season was. Yeah. It was a contract year, so I'm going to play hard, play through injury. But I'm not going to do that again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just if he had 2 years of that, I'd be like, pay the man. Pay that man his money. But he didn't do it for 2 years. We were going into last season like, oh my God, he is a liability. Like, this is scary. So I'm glad that he played well, but as a Chargers organization spending the money, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that without back-to-back seasons.
Yeah. And being traded to free up cap space / gain draft picks.
It's hard.
I mean, whether he's traded or cut, I would say Matt Filer. I would say that, that's the one that's probably got the biggest hit, that letting him go would probably be like, all right. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I'm not going to be heartbroken over that. I could stomach that. Especially if it's a trade. I mean, if we're trading and we're actually getting something in return from Matt Filer, I'll take that.
I don't think that's happening, but I like
it's possible.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know what everybody's offensive line situation is across the league.
He's not getting paid that much money. Like, he's not a top paid guard. So there could be a team out there that's like, yeah, we'll give you a 6th rounder for Filer's rights, and maybe we can extend him out next year. So
yeah,
it's possible.
All right. Well, that was rough. Superchargers fan 2006. We laughed, we cried, but we got through it, and we appreciate the question.
Don't be a stranger.
And do not be a stranger. Let's move on now to K. May.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question. Do you think moving Salyer to right tackle is a viable option?
I don't see why not. At this point, he wasn't expected to do anything last year, and he stepped in as one of our best offensive linemen. So I don't see why that's not something they really consider.
Yeah, I mean, he had the versatility to go from guard all preseason in his first NFL season and be able to kick out to left tackle. So I don't see why with the offseason of training, why he wouldn't be able to pop over to the other side.
Yeah, it feels like the reason why he dropped as low as he did in the draft had to do with like measurables more than anything else. Like he just didn't have this. Thought he was just a guard, and so when he comes in and actually plays left tackle for a good amount of time and actually does a very serviceable job, it begs the question about like how important are measurables in a particular position. And so, yeah, could he go to right tackle if he's willing to do it? Absolutely, why not?
Well, and I think it was interesting too. Remember when he was drafted, there was a story that came out where it was like the coach of Georgia's coach was like, called the Chargers and be like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
get this guy right. Like, get this guy right now." I don't know if he called like the Charger bat phone, but somebody in the Charger organization like, get him now. And that was the greatest call we've gotten that offseason for sure.
Oh yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. But if they decide that Salyer to right tackle is the move, I think we would support it 100%. Yeah, game on, baby.
Yeah.
So K. May, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Hangry Seth.
Yes.
Who asked the question.
Hi, guys. It's me again. Today's episode is brought to you by the number 3. 3 weeks down. Anyways, if you can add a Sesame Street player to the roster, who would it be and why? That's all for today. Until next week, FDR. Can't love you. Bye.
Who's the fastest Sesame Street character?
Grover?
I will say Big Bird would probably be good for those jump balls. Yeah. He's got some height. So maybe Big Bird. He is kind of annoying though.
You wouldn't put him on the line?
Big Bird?
Big body.
Kind of soft.
He's big, but he's got the long neck.
Soft.
He's kind of soft, dude.
Yeah, he's got those feather vibes.
He's got those feather vibes.
I don't know.
The count maybe is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a long time since I've watched Sesame Street, but I feel like Grover's been like shot out of a cannon at some point.
Yeah, Grover.
So shoot him out of a cannon, get him downfield, wide open.
Yeah.
Boom,
he won't get hurt too. He's indestructible.
Indestructible. I've seen him like his arms are stretched from here to hell.
That's the answer. That's Grover. That was great. I forgot about him.
Maybe Snuffleupagus? Nah, let's just stick with Grover.
Nah. What am I thinking?
We already got the answer.
Never going on the IR.
Hangry Seth, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Daryl Sandlin 21, who asked the question. Hey guys, so flippin' glad you guys rocking for us during the quietest month in football. Okay, here we go. New QB coach for our boy Herbie. We all know Shane Day was his pal, but I'm thinking that Herbert doesn't need a best A buddy. He needs a coach who's going to come in and challenge his ass. I feel that the worst thing a coach can do is come in and coddle a player, especially a weapon like Herbert is. Your thoughts, guys? Okay, love you, bye.
What do you think about that, Kyle? You're a good person to speak on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the worst thing that you could do is come in and coddle. That's just, it seems a little bit that's where players are shifting. They're getting to the point where they want their coach to be their buddy and they want to be told that they're good. And
ask Mahomes, he's on the sideline putting his head on his coach's shoulder crying. So you need somebody to coddle you there in that situation.
Tell me it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kyle.
No, that's okay. You have to, as the head coach, you have to be the authority. You have to be this is the road that we're taking no matter what. These are the decisions that have to be made. If you're not up to like the standards of what we're going to do, so on and so forth, like you have to be the one that sets all of that. So yeah, you can't coddle certain players, but I just don't think there's a place. I don't know if there's as much of a place in the NFL anymore for that tough guy head coach. I like Bill Belichick is that, but I feel
he's
like
been grandfathered in.
Yeah, I feel like if you look around the rest of the league, that's just not what it is anymore. I mean, look who was that goofy? Oh, the Cardinals' new offensive coordinator that has been going viral with. He met one of his players. He's like, pew pew pew. We're gonna be throwing it, man. Like just
cringe.
like super goober cringe. Yeah, like that's like what it seems most of the coaching crop is lately.
Just babysitting millionaires. Is that what you're saying?
It's kind of like they make so much money, dude. Like these guys are making so much more money than all the coaches are making. So it's like a little bit, yeah, you got to keep your guys happy.
Yeah.
Right. It certainly seems to be at least an element of inspiring confidence, not necessarily making them happy, but making them feel like they can at least go out there and do it. And I think it's more, and this is just from an outsider's perspective, it's more about getting a coach that they respect. It doesn't have to be so much somebody that pats them on the head and tells them they're doing a good job. It's just somebody that they can have respect for and do what's asked of them and not necessarily have an ego about themselves. I mean, honestly, if there's any player in this league that doesn't have an ego, it's Justin freaking Herbert. So it doesn't matter if it's a pal coach or a hard ass. I feel like he's just going to go in and do his best regardless and not have an ego about it. So,
and I think Nussmeier, you know, like we said earlier before you got here, Kyle, like he's going to be the oldest coach on the staff. He's 52.
Wow.
So it's more of like a, you know, for Justin, it's more of like a father figure than like a goofy cousin, older cousin. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I hopefully there's something there for that. I don't know how that translates, but I don't think Shane Day did a bad job. We weren't in there. We didn't know what he was doing. You can't blame Shane Day for
and honestly
check downs and shit. So we'll see. See what they say. What
right. And if you think of Shane Day as just what the social media team shows you, you can't expect that's all Shane Day is. Like, yeah, they're going to show the times that they're having a good time because that's what audiences want to see. They don't want to see a coach that's telling Justin he's doing it wrong and throwing his clipboard on the ground and, you know, throwing his hat on the ground and stamping on it and stuff like that. Not that Shane Day was that guy.
He's not a starter for a reason, Adam. Remember that coach? He didn't last very long.
No. So take it with what you will, but yeah. Will Nussmeier be the one to challenge him, or will Nussmeier at least be the one to inspire confidence or give him some good tips?
I think if you're with
tricks,
if you're with Justin, dude, just hold on. You're along for the ride. Just don't f him up.
Right. Just help him out.
Give him some tools. Give him some ideas, some thoughts, some things to look out for. But don't f him up. Let him do his thing. Let him throw it downfield, because I think we might have f him up a little too much in this last coaching staff.
It remains to be seen, but we will find out. Daryl Sandlin, 21, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Tom Telesco's burner account.
TTPA.
Who asked the question?
Why is Staley obsessed with light boxes? It's like he doesn't give a about stopping the run, and it pisses me off. I hope we change our bend, don't break philosophy on defense and be more aggressive like we were in weeks 13 and 17. Boy, I love that Miami game. Also, I'm really looking forward to our offense next year with Kellen Moore. What are you guys most looking forward to about our change in OC and new QB coach? For me, I'm most excited about them getting our run game going, including getting Herbert on the move. Maybe get him 400 or 500 yards on some bootleg scrambles, you know? Ooh. Okay, keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. Dig it. I love you guys, man. Bye.
500 yards for Justin. That'd be intense.
That's huge, yeah.
That'd be intense.
Huge. All right, so
what about the light boxes? Why is he so obsessed with light boxes? I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's talked about not stopping the run.
They're keeping him from taking big shots on
rather than wear themselves out running the ball, as opposed to getting 60 yards on one pass.
Yeah.
But
Well, and we got rid of some guys that weren't helping us lock down the middle like we were in the end. They didn't really change their philosophy all that much in those last games. They just had better defensive line and linebacker play to stop the run. That was they didn't change the philosophy. It was just the play that changed. So let's start with that this year and not, regress to what we were, in the middle section of last year.
Yeah. And then what are we most looking forward to about the change in our OC and new QB coach?
I'm looking for identity in the run game. I think Dallas had that, and you saw that in Kellen Moore. I mean, they're kind of feared as a running team with a quarterback that can catch you on a play action and throw the ball deep. I just want an identity. It just felt like we were guessing a lot with zone left, weird tosses that were turned into counters, and then an occasional guard would pull and you'd run power. It's just be nice to have some identity with what our running game is.
Well, the best is when the defense knows it's coming but can't stop it. Less trick run game, more like we're going to ram it down your throat run game. That's what I want.
I don't care if you know what's coming. Yeah,
it's coming.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Tom Telesco's burner count. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Tool Fan 21.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question? Why is it that when you fart in the bath or shower, it smells absolutely putrid?
Concentration, my friend.
Science.
Yeah. You don't want to be in a small space with those things. You got to be careful.
Yes.
But there's something about water when it hits the gas, hits that bubble.
It's concentrated. It's that bubble, and it's just concentrated. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Got to be in an open space, dude.
Yeah.
Closed space, obviously you're going to smell it. And for some reason, when it's in a shower, I mean, it is science. I think it basically mixes with the mist or the steam of the shower, which is all around you.
Yeah.
And now you're just surrounded in your own wet, stinky fart.
That's not it.
And it follows you for sure. It's got to be something with like your pores opening up with the hot water and then the fart like getting in there and you're walking around smelling like shit all day. Like nobody wants that.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Just wait and fart in front of one of your loved ones. That's where you're really supposed to be farting.
Yeah.
That's the most fun place to fart.
Yeah. Under sheets.
Mm-hmm. We've already had this conversation.
The under sheets where you just kind of just pull it up and it just gets somebody gets blasted with it. That's the best fart to execute.
It's better when it's a kid and not a wife, though.
Debatable.
I don't. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's where I'll stand.
That's the hill Kyle will die on.
Yeah. I'd rather hit one of my boys with a sheet fart than with my wife, for sure.
All right. Well, Tool Fan 21, thank you for asking the hard-hitting questions.
Don't be a stranger.
And don't be a stranger. Let's move on now to Zachary Shelton, who asked the question.
If each of you could captain a 5-man Chargers dodgeball team, who would you have on your team? Current players only.
I really appreciate capping it to current players only. It makes answering it way easier.
Yeah. Right.
It's
53
so hard
guys as opposed to what, thousands?
Yeah, when you
players?
open up the floodgates of Charger history, I overthink it and I get paralyzed by thought.
Do you want to do one Charger chat team or 3 5-man teams?
Well, he asked if each of us. So how about we do it like this? Let's pretend that we're all captains. There's a line of Chargers in front of us.
Oh, no.
We all got to pick.
All right, who goes first?
Rochambeau for first pick then.
Okay.
Rock
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Of course. It's going to take forever.
There you go. Go quick. Just do it quickly. Ready? Rock, paper,
1, 2,
3, shoot. Got Adam, you,
Later.
and then rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Kyle goes first.
All right.
First,
Kyle
second,
goes
third.
first.
Derwin James.
Ooh, okay.
I'll go Austin Eckler.
Justin Herbert.
Good pick. Keenan. Yeah, how did Kevin not pick Justin Herbert?
I panicked. See, I panicked and I just pulled my headphones out. I'm falling apart. Pets' heads are falling off.
So much for that romance.
God damn it.
All right, what was your second pick, Kyle?
Keenan.
Okay.
All right, I'll take Mike.
I'll take Dicker the kicker.
Do it.
I like it. I will take Drew Tranquil.
Asante Samuel.
Joey Bosa.
Whoa. That was quick. That was kind of scary.
Yeah.
I'll go with Xander Horvath.
Ooh.
Michael Davis.
By the way, on Xander, have you guys seen his offseason social media right now?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, that guy
Arms
is
as big
terrifying.
as tree trunks.
I think coach might have
Good
called him and said,
God.
get ready for some power running game.
Or like, get ready, you're about to get drug tested by the NFL because good God.
You look too big.
All right.
I went
Is it
Mike Davis. Mike Davis. I'm going all speed. Oh, this is 4, right? We're at 4.
We're at 4. Has Asante been picked?
Yep. Second round pick.
Damn it. Gosh, damn it. I hate you.
I hate you.
Jalen Guyton.
Okay, back to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alohi Gilman.
Shit. That was mine. Son of a bitch. JT Woods.
J.K. Scott.
Punter. You got punter kickers. This is not kickball, Adam. This is
I don't care.
dodgeball.
It's my team.
My team would destroy your team, Adam.
Dude, my team is
Joey
so
Bosa
fast.
will just all go after him and then you're done.
Yeah. My team is so fast, guys. Like, so fast. I got the entire secondary pretty much.
I don't know, dude. My
And
team
Eckler.
feels kind of unbeatable.
And
I have
Mike Will.
Derwin, Keenan, Drew Tranquil, Xander Horvath, and Alohi Gilman.
I have the ultimate
Kinda
competitor in
scary.
Justin Herbert. You can knock all of my guys out. That just gives him more room to kick your ass. Do you mind?
Can't believe I blew it and didn't pick Justin. I'm so
Yeah,
disappointed
they're
in
both
myself.
pretty bad. Dude, we've seen Derwin James in dodgeball, and he's a beast.
He's insane.
Yeah, but he's got no footwear or foot placement. He's always walking out of bounds, and they call him out.
Oh, that's just because it was give him home court, and he knows the situation.
I'm just saying. Just telling you what I've seen.
Just got to coach him up.
All right. Zachary Shelton, thank you for asking the question.
Perfect
Let's move on
offseason
now.
question. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that was
Perfect.
great. That was good.
Let's move on now to Boltopia, who asked the question.
Certified fresh.
Let's play voice roulette. Please have Wooldog pick a different voice for each paragraph.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, hashtag certified fresh.
Hello there. To introduce myself, I'm Boltopia, a huge Chargers fan from San Diego since 2001. We are headed to the promised land. Keep the faith. It's gonna happen. We are headed to Boltopia. First off, I just want to say that I love you guys. You are seriously my favorite Chargers podcast, and I'm subscribed to all of them. A lot of the other podcasts are really great too, but the next best one is in a very distant second place. You guys are the heartbeat of our Chargers community, and I really appreciate what you guys do for our community. So please keep up the good work.
I love Phillip Rivers, baby. And towards the end of his time with the Chargers, I really wanted him to open up the team's first season in SoFi and have our new rookie quarterback, Justin Herbert, learn underneath Phil for 1 year. So what do you think Justin would have learned from Phil in that one imaginary season, baby?
Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, the baby.
It's the baby.
Why hasn't anyone ever asked for that before? That was genius.
You like saved up all the best voices for that
I did.
one.
I was
That
just
so
like,
good.
I gotta
You
save
said
at least
you
the
went
German.
manual, dude. You just like kicked it into a new gear each time. That was awesome.
Do
All
this
right.
for you, Boltopia.
Holy shit. What a way to come in on the podcast, Boltopia. Well done.
Yes.
Appreciate the kind words, too.
Not
man.
one
Really do.
voice, just do them all.
Do them all.
All right. So if Justin could have been underneath Phil for 1 year, what do you think Justin would have learned from Phil?
San Diego is way better than LA. Taking the ride with him a couple times down to his house.
In the bus. I think you'd learn how to talk shit a little more. A little more of that soft
that's a
shit
good
talk.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would have, because Phil is the king.
Because I want
of
like
crap talk.
because I know he's quiet, but I want to have like
He's
a couple moments a
a
year
little.
where he
Yeah.
says something cutting that's
I
like
agree.
sophisticated shit talking. Like I want that. I need that in my life.
I think he's doing that. Not a lot. not enough that the cameras are catching it because we still haven't. We really haven't seen.
He does in the locker room. I want it mic'd up. I want it on the field. Him
That's
talking
what I'm
to an
saying.
opponent.
We haven't seen Justin Herbert mic'd up at a game yet.
He doesn't allow it.
He doesn't do it. He won't do it.
Oh, you think so? Has he said that?
100%. He won't do it.
Interesting.
He hasn't come out and said like I'm not doing mic'd up, but I know for obviously they want him to. He just he's not doing it.
When they start paying him $50 million a year, maybe that's in the contract. One mic'd up per year.
You got to give us one mic'd up, Justin.
We'll give you that 50.
We're giving you money. Give us one mic'd up.
And we got Macho Man too. That was good. We got all of them.
Oh yeah.
How to make babies? He would have answered. He would have answered the other question.
That first question. Really
the
easy.
wonders of a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the trash talking would be something he could have learned and learned that
like banter with teammates. You know, like how to handle an NFL locker room, be a leader with all the guys.
Yeah,
totally.
All right, Boltopia. Thank you for asking the question.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes.
That's quite the entrance.
Quite the entrance.
Walk in.
And here comes the exit. We go out of Ask Boltfam with Boltville 714, who asked the question.
Crikey! How you doing, mates? Is it officially the off season? Me dead, mate. No more thunder from down under for a while. Guess it's time to put me giant lizard back in me budgie smugglers. Yeah, nah. I'm just glad I have you blokes to listen to while I drink with the floys. Anyways, enough faffing around. I got a question for you blokes. If you three had to team up and fight an elephant-sized chicken or 12 chicken-sized silverback gorillas, which would you choose? No weapons, and yes, of course, a victory guarantees a Chargers Super Bowl win. K, love your boy.
First thing comes to mind.
What would you rather see?
Dude, chickens are basically dinosaurs. So imagine like a full-blown dinosaur.
They're kind of scary while they're small.
Yeah, I don't want to with a giant chicken. No way.
Yeah. I don't even want to mess with a regular chicken.
No.
So an elephant-sized chicken or 12 chicken-sized silverback gorillas.
Those would be funny. Those would be hilarious.
There's a lot of boots, a lot of kicking.
Can you imagine? And
I don't know, man. That might be pretty terrifying.
They
start charging you.
Little,
kick them.
They're like, boom, 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 boom. And you just punt them. I would take. I love
the idea of them being little and not knowing they're little and still having the confidence.
They're still King Kong.
I'm coming, bitch.
I'm just gonna punt them.
You're just gonna steel-toed Zodiac work boot to the face on you, buddy.
Yeah, no, an elephant-sized chicken sounds terrifying.
Oh, that's a dinosaur. I'm not fucking around with dinosaurs. I cannot promise we will secure a Super Bowl win if we fight a giant chicken.
No, I like our chances with the gorilla chickens.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is it's all three of us.
Yeah.
So as long as we each take down 4 small gorillas.
Good math, dude.
If my math serves me right.
Avengers Assemble.
That's good eating right there.
Yeah, we can grill them
Gorilla
up.
nuggets.
Gorilla nuggets, yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Boltville 714. I don't think we have to argue about that one. I think we've got it
We're
down.
on the same page. Yeah.
Send us 12 chicken-sized silverback gorillas.
That would be so
Just
cute.
the confidence. Just the little man confidence.
Yeah.
I love it.
And if there is an artist out there that would like to draw what it might look like,
please.
I would love to see it.
And if you
Give us
draw
3
one,
with our face on them, please.
I'll put it on a t-shirt for sure. It'll
Done.
happen.
Just saying. I would love to see that.
Saying 4 apiece. Easy.
Yeah.
Money.
All right. Boltville 714. Thank you for asking the question. And thank you everybody for asking all of these awesome off-season questions in Ask Bolt Fam. We really appreciate it. And I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat.
That's all, folks.
Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
Thanks for making it back, Kyle. I know it's hard, but appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
It's always more fun when you're here.
Thanks for hanging with me while my brain warmed up to what we were doing here on the podcast.
No, you were on fire.
Kevin wanted
there,
to throw you to the wolves.
That was a tough start.
Did what we could to help you out.
How would you explain to your kid sex? Welcome to the podcast.
Let's talk this out, Kyle, in front of all these people.
Let me pose this to you, Kyle. Let's go deeper.
Like, I don't know, dude.
I love it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Ken loves you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. When you need the weather and you need it now, look no further than your local Charger Chat news program. See, that's the beauty of the Duggler 9000. If you need to prepare for a brisket front or if there's a chance of Hawaiian ice hail, we're the ones that are going to give you that information when you need it. Other news stations update every 5 minutes or so. I mean, what good is that going to do you when there's a protein shake storm coming through and you only have minutes to prepare? There's nothing more accurate or quicker than the Duggler 9000. Charger Chat weather with Coach, Huggin, and Wolldog here for you when you need it most.